Hi Stampers, Happy New Year. I'm just gonna give it a minute here for a few of you to log in, and I'm gonna get my computer ready so I can see your comments. Be sure to say hi as you pop in, whether you're watching live or the replay, so that I know that you're here. Let's see here. Okay. So how are the first few days of 2019 treating you? Did you do anything fun for New Year's? I must admit that I was in bed before 12. Yeah, just, I don't know, I can't be bothered staying up anymore. Happy New Year to you too, Peggy. Okay, I'm just trying to upload my screen here. Here we go. Bigger so I can see the comments. Hey Carol, happy to have you join us. Okay, my name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sherwood Park, Alberta, and I am happy to be here today with you like I am every Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to share some live crafting with you. And we have got a ton to talk about today because we've got 2 brand new catalogs. So January 3rd, so just yesterday, the Occasions catalog was released, and this is good until June 3rd. So lots of great product in here. And then also this time of the year also brings our celebration time, and a celebration is our biggest promotion of the year, and it's all about more. So basically the products that are in this catalog you can earn for free. So if you spend $60, this is Canadian, so $60 before shipping and GST, you can choose level 1 item, so anything that has the free with $60 purchase on it. And there's no limit, so if you spend $120, you can choose 2 level 1s, but if you spend $120, there are also 2 items that have free with a $120 purchase. So there's a set of Framelits which coordinate with a stamp set in the Occasions catalog, and then this beautiful, beautiful lasting Lilies stamp set. Okay, so there's lots of other benefits to celebration as well, and I'll talk a little bit more about that kind of as we go along today. Hey Beth, hey Shirley, happy to have you guys join us. Happy New Year. So because we've got lots to talk about, including our new cling mount stamps. I know I had done a video back in November on those, but I'm going to talk a little bit about those now, or today as well. But I'm going to flip you around and so that you can see what I'm doing, and we will get started, okay? So just bear with me for a moment. Okay. All right, and I got this new light. I'm hoping that it will work okay. So we'll see how it goes. All right, I'm just gonna give it a minute here for my screen to catch up so that I can see what you guys are seeing. Okay, so like I mentioned, we have 2 brand new catalogs that just started yesterday. So this one runs until June 3rd, and this one runs until March 31st. There will be new celebration items added mid-February as well, but there's lots of great things to take advantage of between now and then. Some of my favorites, I posted some of my favorites on my blog post yesterday. Let's see here. Well, there's so many great things. I love this Botanical Butterflies DSP. There's ribbon that coordinates with the Gingham Gala DSP that's in the Occasions catalog. So all 5 of those colors coordinate with the 5 colors that are in that paper. And then I think my all-time favorite out of this catalog is the Lasting Lilies stamp set. I always struggle with sympathy cards. And this set is just perfect for sympathy cards. They're not really a fun card to make because of the reason why you're making them, but it is a beautiful card, or a beautiful stamp set, and it's not just for sympathy as well. It would make a great Mother's Day card. It could do birthday, you could do thank you, you can do pretty much any occasion with that stamp set. So really, really pretty. You'll definitely be seeing more with that. So lots and lots of great things in celebration. Like I said, it's all about more. So basically you get more free when you spend, or more product for free when you purchase. So you get to choose something out of here for free with a $60 purchase, and then there's 2 items at the back that are free with a $120 purchase. No limits. When you host an event, a workshop, or even if you just spend this amount as well, once you hit $300, you get an additional $30 in free product. So if you and a few friends got together and you wanted to combine your orders and the sales were over $300, then in addition to the 10% Stampin' rewards that you would normally get, so on a $300 order that would be 30 bucks, you would get an additional 30 bucks. So you get 60 bucks for free. And then when you join during celebration, we have 2 different kit options. Option 1, well, for both options, you get $225 worth of product, and that is product of your choice. So it can be anything out of the occasions catalog, anything out of the annual catalog. The only things that are excluded are celebration sets and host sets. But apart from that, you customize your starter kit. So you get to pick $225 worth of product. And for option 1, you pay $135, and there's no shipping and there's no GST on top of that. So it's $135 flat. Option 2, like I said, you still get the $225, but you will also get this craft and carry tote, which is awesome. It's designed for stampers, and it's a $68 value, and you will be picking it up for 40 bucks. With option 2 for the starter kit, and that is the only way that you can get that exclusive tote. So that option is $175, so that extra $40 covers the cost of that tote, which is, like I said, retails for $68 or has a value of $68. You can't get it any other way. Happy New Year to you too, Tammy. So that is an option as well. Okay, so that's enough about celebration. You'll hear me talk a little bit about it as we go through as well. But what I wanted to really talk about to begin with is our new cling mount stamps. So I did a video, like I said, back in November when it was announced. They look very similar to our clear mount stamps. So up until now, we've had 3 different types of stamps. We've had wood mount stamps, we've had clear mount stamps, and we've had photopolymer stamps. Now we are going to only carry 2 different kinds of stamps. So we're going to have cling mount, so no more wood mount. The only thing that is available in wood mount for now is our background stamps. So now we are going to carry cling mount and photopolymer. Okay, so cling mount, you'll see that I have gone ahead and I've added my labels. Before, when I've done my Facebook videos or any of my videos, you will have noticed if I was using clear mount, I would never have the labels on the back because I found that they didn't stick. They would fall off and it would just be frustrating. Now you want to add your labels to the, oh, that light isn't the best, is it? I'm gonna have to go back to my other one. Okay, you'll want to add your labels to the back of your stamps because those labels are super sticky. You can see, like I'm shaking this and there is no way that those are coming off. So that means when you've got them mounted onto your block, they're not gonna fall off either. When you clean them, when you go to stamp, when you're inking them, you don't have to worry about them falling off. Okay, the tip when you take these off, whether you're removing them from your case or removing them from your block, is you want to make sure that you lift, you're getting the label from underneath. Okay, so you peel back that label just like that and peel off. You don't want to just quickly do it because it's so sticky that you might end up peeling the rubber off of the foam. So just make sure that you're getting underneath and getting that label. Okay, so that's what I wanted to point out for our cling mount stamps. Now let's get on to the fun part. We're gonna start crafting. So today I've chosen to use one of my favorites, the Beauty Abounds bundle. So we have got lots of butterflies in this catalog, lots of butterflies. So there's butterflies, there's 2 different butterfly sets, there's a punch, there's a set of framelits, In the celebration catalog, there's some paper, there's some wood elements, so lots of butterfly choices. If you are a fan of butterflies, you're gonna love this catalog. So we are using this stamp set, the Beauty Abounds stamp set, and the Butterfly Beauty Framelits. So this is all one set. And here's what it cuts out. So all of these butterflies. So you'll see these big ones here. This is what they look like. So there's an outline image and then a more full one, and they layer beautifully. You'll see that. We're gonna use those today. But even though this is all one, you can actually use these as separate butterflies as well. So you can use them as a whole butterfly, or you can use them as individual butterflies. So we're gonna actually use this guy today on one of the projects. So I'm gonna show you how you can just pick and choose which butterfly you wanna use, okay? So now you're ready to see what we are going to make. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, so we've got 2 cards for today. These are the 2 cards. Oh, I am really not happy with the way this light is working. I apologize for all the shadows kind of on this side. I'm going to try to move it over a little bit more. Okay, so we are using a really soft color palette today, especially for this one here. And we are also using another one of my favorites. You know, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I absolutely adore the stitched shapes framelits. So with that framelit set, you get circles, squares, and ovals. And now Stampin' Up! Has come out with rectangles, 13 different size rectangles. So I was super excited when I saw these. And these are a little bit different than our stitch shapes because these have the stitching on the outside and on the inside. So do you guys remember that that bundle that was available in August, and it had that beautiful label shape? There were 3 different sizes and they were stitched. Something about seasons. The name is escaping me. But those stitched labels, they had the stitching on the inside and then also on the negative space as well. So that's the way these work. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start with this one here. So remember, as you log in to, or you join us, be sure to comment and let me know that you're here. Tell me how your New Year's was. All right. Beth says excited about those. Yes. Blended seasons. Thank you very much for reminding me. Okay. All right. So let's go through the cardstock that I have here. In case you guys want to recreate, I'll give you all the dimensions all at the beginning here. So we're using Petal Pink, and this measures 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. So this is going to be our card base. So let's go ahead and fold that. Okay, and then we've got a piece of soft sea foam. I love this soft green. This measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then I've got 2 pieces of very vanilla cardstock. Both of them measure the same size, 3 3/4 by 5. One is going to be for the outside and one is going to be for the inside. And then I have a scrap of vanilla to do my tag and my little butterfly. So let's actually do the tag and the butterfly first. Okay, so I might actually need a bigger piece of vanilla. Okay, so I'm gonna use basic gray because I thought that black might be just a bit too stark. And this is the label shape size that I'm gonna use. Okay, it will work this way, so let's do this. I'm just gonna use the For You, so this is from that Beauty Abounds stamp set. And I'm not too worried that that's crooked because I can position this so that it's straight. And then I'm gonna take my Petal Pink and this butterfly image. Hey Brett, it's been a while since you've been able to join us live. Okay, so then I'm stamping the butterfly. So now we're gonna bring in the Big Shot and do our cutting so that we can get the Big Shot out of the way. All right. Okay, so I'm using my magnetic platform And now a little tip when you're using your rectangle framelits, your stitched rectangle framelits, do not put them in so that they're sliding in square, like right parallel with your Big Shot, because you'll find that they're really tight going through and they just make some terrible noises. They will cut better and be easier on the framelit if you put it through at an angle, so it's not going in, like I said, parallel, okay? So I do need to figure out, make sure that this is straight. Boy, that stamped really crooked. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then I'm gonna grab the framelit that coordinates with this butterfly. Beth says, I always worry that the wood would break in the mail. So the little wood element that I've got on the card, oh, here we go. Wait, this is gonna be difficult on me here. What you can do, Beth, is you can put, sorry, trying to concentrate here. Okay, so if you're worried that this might break in the mail, what you can do is if you just fold a tissue, or even just an extra piece of paper, and just give it that extra height so that it's even height with the wood element, and you pop it through the mail, then that pressure won't be right on that highest point of the card, and then it wouldn't break at all. But I've sent quite a few with little wood elements, and I've never had a problem. Okay, so feed that through, and I've got my butterfly, which we will set aside. Okay, so remember how I said, here, let's get the Big Shot out of the way. Okay, remember how I said that it cuts the stitching on both the label shape and then on the negative shape. So if I had cut that so it was straight, or well, I guess if I had stamped it and then cut it when it was straight, I could actually turn around and use this piece as well. Okay, so it's nice that it's got the stitching on both. Okay, so now we're gonna pull in both of our pieces of vanilla and we're gonna do some stamping. And so let's move that guy out of the way. We are going to use Petal Pink first. And I am using the little, I call them bouquet dots. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But I'm using these little dots and I'm going to stamp them kind of in a random position on one of them in the lower right-hand corner and then in the other in the center, because this one's going to be on the inside of my card and this one's going to be on the outside of my card. And when you stamp these, you'll see that there are variations in the color and it's meant to look like that. So the stamp is actually supposed to look like that. I'm just gonna grab a scrap piece of paper to put underneath here. And I'm gonna stamp some of them off the side of the page, and I'm doing them kind of in different directions just to make it look like it's meant to be there and not all the images are confined to that one little space. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to clean this because I'm going to use it again in soft sea foam. Okay, so now I'm going to add a few more dots. Let's go this way. Okay, and now I'm going to pull in some So Saffron. So this is a softer yellow, and I'm going to use this smaller image, and I'm going to fill in some of the spaces here. Okay, so I'm happy with the way that looks. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this piece aside for a minute. We'll work on that in a minute. I'm going to take my soft sea foam and I will adhere this piece to it. Ooh. Having some adhesive problems here. So tell me, what did you guys do for New Year's? Okay, so this is just gonna have like about a 1/16 of an inch border all the way around. Okay, I'm gonna move this. And then this is gonna go on here, and this, you'll see a little bit more of the pink. So I cut it a little bit smaller so that there would be a little bit more pink showing. This card actually was inspired by a card that I saw that Brian King made. And he had these dots. I took his color palette, so I got the color palette from his card. He had all these dots in the center and then with a circle with a greeting on it. So I chose to move it down and towards the left and then add a little embellishment cluster. Okay, so now what I've gone ahead and done before the video, so that I didn't have to tie a bow on the video, I used a piece of this petal pink metallic ribbon. It's a combo pack. It comes with shaded spruce as well. The shaded spruce is a little bit narrower, but it's really pretty. It's got a really pretty shimmer to it. So I just took a short little piece, like it's probably maybe 3 inches, folded it in half, and then wrapped a piece of linen thread around it and tied a bow. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of adhesive in behind here and add that to that. And then I'm gonna take some dimensionals on all 4 corners. Oh, Beth said she lost the internet. She lost her connection. Hopefully she gets it back. Is that in the annual catalog? The ribbon is in the annual catalog. Okay, so now I've got one of these little wood flowers. So one of the celebration items, so one of the items that you can earn for free with a $60 purchase is these little butterfly wood elements. So there are two of those, and then 2 of these, and then you get this whole sheet of flowers as well. So all of that comes in one package, and you could, like I said, you can get that for free with a $60 purchase. So if you were to purchase the Beauty Abounds bundle, that is over $60. So then you could choose these for free. Okay, so I am going to use one of these little flowers. I'm gonna use a mini glue dot to stick it on. Add that on there, and then I'm going to take my butterfly and I'm just going to curl up the wings just a little bit to give it a little bit of dimension so it looks like he's flying off the page. Add a little bit of adhesive on the one side. Okay, so there we go. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I just love the soft colors in this one. Okay, so now let's finish off the inside. So for this particular one, oh no, okay, the original one that I made, I had used the greetings that were in this set, and it said, "A friend is someone who chooses you out of a whole world of people." Isn't that a cute saying? So I had used that on the inside. But this time I am going to turn it into a birthday card. So because there's no birthday greetings in there, in that stamp set, I chose a couple different ones. So I'm using this greeting from Incredible Like You, which is in the Occasions catalog. It says, "Hope your day is as amazing as you." And then I wanted a happy birthday. So I'm choosing the Amazing Life there's a little happy birthday in there. And I thought that the font worked well with it. So I'm choosing that. And the Amazing Life stamp set, actually, along with the stitch rectangles, you can actually get this as a bundle and save 10%. So let's go ahead. We're gonna pull in our gray because I wanna do the greeting in the gray so it stands out a little bit over top of the dots that we've got on there. So I'm gonna stamp Hope Your Day is as amazing as you first. I'm just gonna bring it a little closer here. So I've got that, and then I'm gonna go in with the happy birthday. Okay, there we go. So then that'll get stuck on the inside of the card. And we've got a nice, beautiful birthday card to send to somebody. Actually, I have somebody that's coming to class on Thursday, and it's her birthday, so she is going to get this card. All right. There we go. So what I like to do is, first of all, I usually add an insert on the inside of my cards when I'm using a colored card base. If I'm using vanilla or white, I tend not to. And I guess with lighter colors, you probably don't need to either. I just find that it looks really finished. But what I did to keep things simple, I was cutting this outer piece and I knew that I was going to use a colored card base. So I just cut an extra one and kept it the same size just to keep things consistent. Okay. So there we go, there's our first card. Now, moving on to the second one. This is it here, just a reminder, or in case you haven't seen it yet. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna use the same bundle, same ribbon, linen thread, the stitched rectangles. We're just gonna create something that looks very different. Okay, so let me grab my pieces for that. Okay, I'll move these pieces out of the way. Okay, so my card base is going to be vanilla, so it measures 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we're just gonna go ahead and fold that, make it nice and crisp, and we'll set that aside for now. And then, okay, you'll need a few scraps. So you'll need a couple scraps of Calypso Coral and a couple scraps of Petal Pink. So I've gone ahead and done some of the cutting just so that I don't have to do so much with you guys watching. So I'm going to show you how I created this. So what I did was I used my stitched rectangles, and I used, I believe it was the 3rd and 4th sizes, I think. Nope. Must have been, oh yeah, 3rd and 4th. I grabbed the wrong ones. 3rd and 4th sizes. And I just nested them like this and then fed it through my Big Shot. So we'll do that in a minute. And then what I'm going to do, I need my framelits again. Okay, so what I've already done is I've taken a piece of Petal Pink and I've gone ahead and cut the larger of the 2 big butterflies, and I really just focused around here. So you'll see how I did that when I cut the other one. So for this one, I'm gonna focus mostly on this butterfly here. But because this is so detailed, I find it's really quite helpful to use our self-adhesive sheets. So I'm gonna peel this off. So these come in sheets that are 6 by 12, and then you can just cut them down to the size that you need. Okay, and let's peel back this extra little bit that's here. Ugh, okay. Okay, and now I got that a little bit too sticky, so I'm just gonna use my adhesive eraser. I can just put this through my Big Shot, but then it'll gum up my platform, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to remove that extra adhesive. that it doesn't make my platform sticky. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna use this framelit and these and this, and we'll pull in the big shot and we'll get going on that. Okay, so I'm gonna do these one at a time. So let's do the rectangles first. So again, remember last time I mentioned that you don't want to go in so that it's parallel to it. You want to go a little bit at an angle. So I'm going to put the bigger one on there, and then the smaller one, just center it. I got to stand up, make sure, get this lined up. Yeah, looks good. Then I'll set this one carefully on top and feed it through. Deal with that afterwards. Okay, and then for this one, I'm going to put the adhesive side down, and really I just need this butterfly. I don't need the rest, so I'm really just going to try to make sure that that's kind of in the center so that it's mostly covered with adhesive. And because this is a little bit more detailed, you can use the precision platform, but I've just got my magnetic platform out, so I'm just going to run it through maybe 3 times just to make sure it all cut nicely. And because it's got that extra layer of adhesive on it, you really want to make sure that it cuts through that. That looks good. Okay, so we'll move this out of the way. Okay, so we'll poke out these pieces. Try my paper piercer here. Okay, those out of the way. So one thing that I do encourage you to do is really poke out all of these pieces before you remove that adhesive backing off of it. Sometimes they come off when the backing comes off, but if they don't, then I find that they just end up sticking. They're sticky and they stick to the back, to the sticky stuff on the back. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do with this more detailed one, I don't need this piece because that's from another butterfly. So I'm gonna take my scissors and just cut around that, like that. Move it out of the way. I'm gonna peel off my backing. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. There's one more thing I want to do before I do that. I wanted to add some shimmer to it. So I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, and I'm basically just going to color the whole thing to give it just a little bit of shimmer. And I wanted to do that before I added it to the pink butterfly, because I just want the shimmer on the coral part, not on the pink part. And this dries pretty quickly. Okay. Can you tell I don't like working with a piece of scrap paper underneath my work? Okay, so I just trimmed that excess off. This little bit I'm gonna save until I stick this guy on here, and then I'll follow the shape of this guy. Okay, so let's peel the backing off of this. Now, if you don't have our self-adhesive sheets, you could also use our fine tip glue, which would work really well. Or you could even use Tombow. Tombow it's not quite as fine, so you might find it a bit more difficult to use, but you can definitely do it. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love these butterflies. So now I'm just going to take my scissors and just follow this shape. So that is how you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different butterflies out of that one big solid, butterfly framelit. Okay, so now let me show you what these look like. So see, I could turn around and use that. I could trim it so that it's a nice even border. And then even on the inside of the card, that would be a nice frame for an inside greeting. So you could definitely do that. So I might save that, I'll set that aside. And then these inside pieces, these pieces you want to keep too, because you can use them on something else. But for this particular project, we are more concerned with the frame. So we are going to use these two frames. We're going to use this, and then before we assemble, let's do our stamping. So I'm going to pull in the gray, and for this project I am going to make it a thank you card. So I'm going to stamp thanks on here. That is not very straight. That's why I had 2 strips cut. Let's try this again. I find if I can't get right over top. Oh, that'll do. Okay. So I'm going to trim this just a little bit. So trim it there, and then this end I'm going to cut just at an angle. Okay, and let's start assembling now. Okay, so now for this, for adhesive for these, you can use Tombow, you can use fine tip glue, but I am just going to, for the sake of speed, I'm just going to use mini glue dots on the 4 corners. So if you want the opportunity to win the cards that I'm making today, be sure to comment. For every comment or question that you ask, you get an entry to win, and I draw next Friday. And if you share this video, because word of mouth or sharing is always the best form of advertising. So if you share this video with your friends and family, then you will get 5 entries into the draw to win these projects. Okay, actually, how many of you, I have a question for you, because I'm kind of thinking ahead to future Facebook Lives here. How many of you make Valentine's cards or treats or Valentine's projects of any kind? You can just pipe up in the comments and give me an idea of, I'm definitely going to do at least one Valentine's Facebook Live, but I may do, based on what you guys craft, I may do more than one. Okay, so you can see that I kind of offset those a little bit, and then I'm going to take this greeting and curl it a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of just regular adhesive on that end and a dimensional in the middle. Tuck it under here like that, and then I've gone ahead and done my little accent, which I thought afterwards it'd be cute if I added a little wood element, so I'm going to play around here and figure out my positioning. Oh, I think I like that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to, let's use a little bit of this. Okay, and then I'll use a mini glue dot to stick this guy on. Brett says for her kids' classroom. Okay. Love how you did the frames. Thanks, Beth. So little kids' treats would be good. Brett, right? Okay. I miss my kids not doing Valentine's anymore. My kids are too old. They don't, that's not cool anymore. Stick that on there like that. And then my butterfly, I am just going to use, again, my bold folder and curl up the wings a little bit. Add a little bit of adhesive on his body. Add him on there. And then I'm gonna pull in a few pearls, and I'm gonna use one of each, one of the 3 different sizes. So let's try down here. Do down here, and then a middle size up here, and then a little one. There we go. So what do you think? With the wood element or without? I don't know, I kind of like it. Okay, so these are the 2 cards. Beth says I still send my kids them. They're 38, 36, 35, and 28. That's awesome. I still give my kids Valentine's cards, and of course my husband, but we don't make little treats for the classroom anymore. Sometimes I'll make them little treats, but I don't, we don't do them for their friends anymore. Okay, so there we go. Those are the 2 cards for today. On the inside of this one, I didn't put anything because sometimes I like to leave them with just a greeting on the outside, and then I'll choose my greeting based on the person my inside greeting based on the person who will be receiving the card. All right. So like I said, thank you so much for watching. If you want to win these cards or want the opportunity to win these cards, be sure to comment and share this video. And oh, Brett says she likes it with the wood element. I like it too. I think it just adds a little bit of extra texture on there. I love it. Kim loves them both. Thank you for sharing, Beth. And your project you won a couple weeks ago, and I have not been to the post office yet. So it is in my post bag, and I plan on going to the post office this weekend. So it's coming. I haven't forgotten. All right, so thanks so much for watching. Have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you next Friday. Take care.